This week on The Modified World, I stab a whole bunch of cartilage, get geared up to go to Vegas, and ask y'all a couple of questions. So stay tuned. So welcome to The Modified World, the weekly web show about body modification, the people who do it, the people who get it, and why it matters. I, of course, am your host, the senior piercer up at the world-renowned Pangea Piercing, and the fellow who brought all the internet wackiness to the masses. That's right, I'm JC Potts. And this week, well, I've gotten to do a whole bunch more stabbing on some more of my favorite types of clients. Of course, you know what I mean by that. Don't necessarily mean hardcore piercing enthusiasts. I mean giggling packs of teenage girls. One of my favorites. And not because I'm a dirty old man either. Although I'm not going to deny being a dirty old man. That has nothing to do with it. It has entirely everything to do about the fact that, once again, I think they get a lot more out of it. A lot more enjoyment. A lot more something from the whole process. I also wound up having to cover a bunch this week for the illustrious Laura 2. L2 as she is known. You know that she doesn't like to appear on the show, and of course I don't blame her. She's a cute young girl and the internet's full of stalkers. Plus, she's just really not the type to be all involved with a bunch of high-tech bullshit. She's more of a forest dweller. And with that in mind, she wound up being in the care of a horse. And with that in mind, this stupid horse is an asshole. And wound up kicking her in the fucking face. Almost took her head off. She has a silicone tube in her eye for the next month. She was off work for quite a while, and unfortunately too, wound up racking up a pretty good medical bill. Now, luckily we're not talking anything catastrophic, but guess what? Most piercers, and us included, don't really have adequate health care coverage. So, I don't ask for very much from all y'all, but I am going to ask that you would be willing to go over to my website, pangeapiercing.com, and check it out, because I've got a little link over there where you can donate a few cents to help Laura out with the cause. If all my viewers gave 50 cents, $1, she'd be in good shape and wouldn't be crushed under the heavy burden of medical bills. I pretty much do cartilage all the same way. Pretty much always, if possible, try to use either a biopsy punch or an O-needle. Why is that? Why? Because it cuts a nice clean hole. And I don't like to use the word cut, but that's what it does. It cuts a nice clean hole and actually just allows skin to grow over the sides of it, which means for a much easier healing process. Now, don't get me wrong, it does leak a lot more. And by leak, I mean bleed. And I don't really mind because bleeding doesn't hurt. However, though, long healing processes with a bunch of impinging cartilage in there does hurt, so I don't mind. I'll let them bleed a little bit and make sure that the piercing's A-okay.
I really like it. I love it. It looks so good.
No touching, of course. I mean, you can move your hair and stuff, but you don't want to touch the piercing.
I want him to yell at me.
No!
I love it. Yay!
guys think of the situation, actually?
Good. It was good.
Did you think, was it as bad as you thought it was going to be?
No.
What was what was going through your mind beforehand?
That I'm gonna throw up.
I think
Abby?
I was maybe a little too cocky about it. It's a little humbling.
A little humbling for you. Yeah.
Right on. Well, hope to see y'all here in a few weeks or so for your checkups and stuff. Well, that was my show this week. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something, or if you didn't even learn anything, I hope you were at least entertained, I'm going to Las Vegas next week for the annual Association of Professional Piercers Conference 2013. I'm going to be doing lots of interviews whilst I'm out there. So let me know in the section down below, what would you like for me to ask? Who would you like me to ask it of? Go ahead and let me know. If you support what I do, and I know you do, go ahead and be willing to share one of my videos on your Facebook, your Tumblr, your Twitter. I know you got Twitter. Well, almost everybody's got frickin' Twitter at this point. And be sure to stop back by next week for yet another episode of The Modified World.